Welcome, everyone, to the 14th episode of A Dash of Salt with my very special guest to my right, CraftyGamerLady.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had a long streaming day trying to finish God of War, and we didn't even a little bit.
I've never played a God of War, but I've watched my buddy Brad play a bunch, and that one, I will say, seems very difficult.
I've really loved it this time, because what happened the first time I tried to play it was I had just come off of doing Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us, and The Last of Us 2, and then I tried to play God of War. So I got 3 hours in and I was completely storied out. It's like, this is not going to happen. So when Michael Fosbeck and I did one of our fundraisers, I think it was the Pride fundraiser in June, we had the top goal be like a finish the damn game challenge, and that was mine.
That's crazy.
So we hit that $1,000 mark, and so now I'm finishing God of War. But I love it so much this time around. The graphics, the puzzles are exactly my style. I keep getting sidetracked and wanting to do all of the things, and so it's just taking forever.
Would you say you're more of a PlayStation gamer then?
I'm probably more of a PC player, just because and Nintendo, I guess. I grew up on Nintendo.
I'm sorry. I had something running, and I was like, why is my everything going so slow?
No problem.
All right, sorry.
Working now?
I think so. It was lagging just a tad bit.
There we go.
Down here, salt is
Thanks for the follow.
Obviously, the environment down here is all
Casper!
salt. The
I
ceiling's
appreciate
salt, the
you.
floor's salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is
Because I
salt.
started out
And you breathe
gaming
it
on
in and you
Nintendo stuff. I
constantly
remember
taste the
when
salt.
we got the original NES system when I was a kid. Like the first Super Mario and Duck Hunt and there was some sports game that had the pad with the 1 and 2 numbers on them.
Duck Hunt was my favorite.
And then actually, when someone DMs me on Twitter, it's the Duck Hunt sound for my notification. And then I got into PC gaming a lot with, all the Sierra games, like the King's Quest and all that kind of stuff, and stayed with it. And then did mostly MMOs, like after college, and up until recently hadn't even had a PlayStation, but I got a PS4 during quarantine.
Okay, so I feel like everyone has an MMO part of their life. What was the one MMO, or the first MMO that brought you in?
The first one was Lord of the Rings
Really?
Online. Because I was a high school teacher for 3 years.
Okay.
In my first summer vacation, I had no idea what to do with myself. So I was like, I need to get into some kind of game, something that's going to take up, my time. And I just searched for things that were nerdy that I loved, and I just so happened to come across Lotro. So I got in there, and I was this big beefy tank named Malorian. So if anyone ever sees me signed in somewhere under Malorian, I think I still am in one of the gaming systems. I'm still Malorian because I can't change it. And they called me Malorian Meat Shield because I was such a great tank. But now I'll do anything to be a sniper and stay way far away.
I've always been just such a tank person. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I can't grasp strategy, so it's easier just to go in and just hack and slash and try and defend because I have a bunch of armor and heavy defense.
Yeah, I've been very much forced into the hacker slasher with God of War. I kept having the kid just fire all the arrows and trying to have that be decent enough, and throwing the axe from far away. And Dustin Athok kept telling me, no, you got to get in there. You got to get in there and use the combos. They're so cool. And
they are
right.
cool. They are cool.
Yeah.
So what was the first game out of all those that you played on
I think I started with a Mario game, because I did Mario Mondays even before the Mario March Madness was a thing for Extra Life. I did Mario Mondays in an effort to start with the oldest game, the original Super Mario Brothers. And I was going to go through all the games up to the current ones and beat them all. Well, I got halfway through the second one, and as I started getting tired of it, that's when Michael and I started doing the March Mario Madness whole fundraiser for Extra Life with the community. And after a whole month of Mario, I was like, okay, we got to let Mario sleep for a little bit.
That's
we got to take a
funny.
break. So I never have gone back to finish the rest of the older ones.
How far did you get into them?
The first part of the second one. But to be fair though, Michael and I played what's the new one?
Odyssey?
The Super Mario 3D World. With the Bowser's Fury. I haven't done the Bowser's one yet, but he and I made it all the way through. We rolled credits and we've done some of the extra
cool,
stuff.
then.
So that took up a lot of time.
All right. I always wonder, because like it's always one of those things when you first start streaming, like what's the first game I'm gonna play? What are people gonna be drawn to right away? It's almost like, is this my branding right away? Is like this what I'm gonna be known as for streaming? So I always wonder if a lot of thought goes into that first game you start streaming.
For me, it was really more about, I think, the artwork side of things, because that was what was gonna set me apart from the other gamer streamers, and getting that mix of the two. And what was my schedule going to be? And yeah, I was talking to somebody last night that I really feel like I've finally found my groove and my theme really only in the last month or two after streaming since January. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I started about a month after that, February, March sometime. I don't have a groove yet, so good on you for finding it. You know, I'm still trying to like get to that point where I feel comfortable.
The person I was talking to last night has been streaming on and off for over a year, and is just having conversations about changing direction and getting a set theme and stuff. So don't feel too bad.
I think I've changed everything so many times. Like even this, like the new layout of the Dash Assault. This is like my third layout of it, you know, of how it looks.
Yeah, it's looking good.
You know, I just want to, I don't know, I like something, and then I run with it, and then I see something different. I'm like, well, that looks way better than what I got going on. I'm switching everything I'm doing, you know. So that's that's kind of where I'm at.
I know you even changed your name a little bit. You hacked it in half.
Which now I gotta like change my logo guy, because it says my full name, which is a part of the reason why I changed it, because it was there was a few reasons. One, I wanted to be searchable, and I just felt like the long name was just, I thought it was super clever. I thought it was a super clever name, but it doesn't roll off the tongue if you've never heard it before, you know? Like CraftyGamerLady, that's I feel like that rolls off the tongue, you know? Like it's easy to say, Saltonius, Daltonius. When I would type it in chat or I would type in other people's chat, people didn't even know how to say my name most of the time. So it was just like, I need to change this.
You know, it's funny you say that, because you have no idea how many people, including Gary Whitta, still calls me this just on purpose now, CraftyGamerLady. Like every time someone tries to get CraftyGamerLady out, like when I raid them or something, and they CraftyGamerLady, just call me Crafty. Right. Just Crafty's fine.
What's funny, good doc, is like Salty Dalty was a thought. Like that was gonna, you know, that's where it all originated, you know, was Salty Dalty. And I hated that. So it became, you know, Salt Dalt and Sultans of Daltons, and then just kind of, you know, evolved it from there. But what kind?
Yeah, Saltonius works.
I love it.
It's short. It's got that little bit of sophistication.
Where did you find your branding? What made you land on CraftyGamerLady?
See, you even stumbled a little bit. What's funny, and I found the shirt to wear. It's a crazy craft lady, but it's all the cats. And I was thinking to myself, like, what am I? Because I already had the name Crafty Musician everywhere that I went, but really couldn't grab onto the music part because of all the DMCA stuff. So I'm like, well, I can't really broadcast my musician side of things. So what else am I gonna do? Just Crafty, and then I'm thinking like crazy cat lady. So it's got to be like Crafty something lady. I'm also a gamer. And then, so it was just that, thinking of the crazy cat lady idea. And then I just happened to find this shirt that I thought was adorable.
That's pretty, nail on the hammer type deal where, okay, well, if it fits, it works, and it's true to who you are. So, I like it.
Yes. And then it actually kind of gave me my branding for me. The person I was talking to last night about how they want to brand themselves and like what is it that makes them them, and like I feel like I lucked out because it's right there in the name, arts and gaming, and now I just have to design what my aesthetic wants to look like, which I think I've honed in on.
Yeah, that's great advice for certain people. Like I would definitely say like start off. The name's important. I think I didn't put as much thought into the name in the beginning. I thought something more I liked than what would be more what people would like. And then that went with like, well, what's my branding from there? Like, what do I make my overlays? And I was like, well, I'm going to run with the salt thing because I feel like it works, And then here we are. So same thing with the crafty thing, because immediately when you hear that, I feel like, oh, there's going to be something. Every time I've tuned into your stream, you're doing drawing or some type of crafty thing. So
even on the gaming streams,
you even your overlays, like, or how you've set everything up, you can tell that you've done it. So it's like, it's nice to see that like every part of your stream has been an aspect of that craftiness.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So I'm glad that communicated across.
So did you start out as streaming, or were you a viewer before? Because I feel like
I was definitely
I feel
a viewer
like a lot
before.
of us were viewers.
Yeah, it was definitely pandemic related. Because in March of 2020, I started working from home, and in just trying to connect with people again, I first started by watching YouTube streams of like Adam Savage and Elton Brown, who's a chef, on the Food Network, and then I found Gary Whitta again because I knew of him through Tested, which is now Adam Savage's YouTube channel, where it's a maker builder community and they do some sciencey things and stuff too. But originally it was a tech podcast, and I had been listening to that from the beginning when we moved out to the country in like 2017. All of a sudden I had an hour drive each way to work. So I started listening to Tested, and that included Gary Whitta. So when I was looking for people to watch new content of, and I came across Gary because he was doing the animal talking shows, and then the Fall Guys talk show. I connected with him, and then kind of got to know a couple other people in the community, and then really got to know more people in the community like Robert Highwind and Robo Dessert and that whole group. And then all of them collectively said, oh, you do art stuff? You teach art classes? You should stream art stuff. And that kind of got the wheels turning. So that was probably anywhere between like September, October is when I started really kind of getting integrated into the community. And then I started streaming in January.
Those guys are so supportive. It's really awesome it's so funny because like, the people even here in chat and the people that I've had on the podcast before, I would never have met without doing this, so it's pretty interesting and everyone so far has been super genuine. There have been a few couple rotten apples, you know what I mean, but they're just crappy people in general, so it's like,
people are going to react differently to different situations, and if they don't vibe with you, or if you feel like they're going to be toxic, then you just kind of do a little sidestep. And I've had to do that with a few people too, and it has served me for the better.
I think that should definitely be more. I don't know if accepted is the right phrase for that, but I'm such a supportive person that, like, let's say if I'm in your stream and you go to raid somebody, of course I'm gonna follow along. I might even drop a follow if I like what they're doing, gift a sub or whatever, and there have been times I've done that just out of, okay, here we are, and then I'll tune back into the stream and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, this really isn't my vibe. I kind of, and that's it shouldn't, you shouldn't feel too bad for dropping an unfollow in those situations. I know it's happened to me. I know people have followed me through raids and then they're like, oh, what the heck did I get myself into? Let me get out of here.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's, that's going to happen to anyone because like you do it initially out of a want to be supportive. And because we're all a community of small streamers.
Exactly.
We got to build each other up. But yeah, you shouldn't then be permanently beholden to someone who just doesn't fit your vibe.
Did you, because I know you're saying you were a viewer during the whole COVID thing and you seeing the numbers jump up and down. Did you see an initial surge right when you started streaming? One, probably because you had support, but two, just because everyone's at home still. Because even I noticed it in the beginning where like, I didn't even have friends at the beginning that were watching like that, but I was still getting a few people. And then like, months later, those names that I would see are no longer in there, but that's all right. But
yeah, I think there have been some people that, obviously come and go, for sure. But honestly, mine has been more of a steady progression. I kind of started out in a high spot because, I talk about Gary Whitta, and he's been very supportive of me. I'm a mod for him, and it's, a mutual appreciation society, but he rated me on my first day of streaming with like 100 some odd people and made sure that I was at 50, like as soon as I started. Amazing. So I feel like I had a little bit of a leg up there, and then a leg up by having the connections in the community.
It's just a perfect example of like when people ask for advice with streaming, and it's like, hey, just be you and start to vibe with people that are like-minded, and just like that, your first day streaming, you get such support like that, and that's what it is. It's just the vibe you get with people, and they come and support you back. So I don't know. That's what I love about this whole Twitch thing. It's been my favorite part. It's like I'm not trying to get famous. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money, but I am trying to gain some friends along the way, and some of them I've gotten to meet, so it's been pretty awesome.
For me, it's been mostly about just wanting to share what I have to offer with other people. And that's, not only the art stuff, not only my love for gaming, but just a kindness, awareness of mental health and taking care of ourselves, generosity, which of course, then I had to go be a smart aleck and quit my job. So the generosity has come down a little bit, but
understandable.
I digress. So, for that, and right before I started viewing, I had kind of given up on humanity a little bit just because of seeing how people and communities were treating each other in the pandemic when it started to become political, and all the divisiveness and just, our leadership in America at the time really gave me anxiety and stressed me out. And I'm even now on anxiety medication still. But seeing this community and seeing how generous and genuine people are, and that I have places where I can go to pretty much at any time of the day, any day of the week, and get some encouragement or offer encouragement and see friends and talk to people, that has really kind of brought me back to, having some faith in humanity again.
I 100% agree. I've been not a Twitch viewer for a long time, but around that time, as well. So when, like you're saying, when you see the protests, when you see everything in the news, and it just seems to only be bad, it was nice to come to Twitch to get a little bit of a smile on your face, and it wasn't all about that. So I totally understand that. And
and this coming from a person who used to think that Twitch, I didn't know what Twitch was until I started watching, Gary and all them, but I used to think that Twitch was just for kids who wanted to play Fortnite and be a millionaire instantly.
Same.
Like,
No, it's so funny now because I'm like, man, I wish I would have started 6 years ago, but it's just, because I had this, I was a YouTube guy the whole time, like up until I will admit it, I've never admitted on stream before, but the only time I actually went to Twitch was to illegally watch fights or stuff that people would stream, because Twitch was the place to go. You could easily find it, not anymore, but back in the day it was super easy to find that illegal stream because somebody was going to be posting it. It's so funny how long.
I don't think anybody can say that they, would be able to cast the first stone.
Do you remember LimeWire? Did you ever use LimeWire back in the day? Yes. Okay, a LimeWire OG.
I did.
There we go. These kids will never know.
No, the pain of having to trust that you were going to leave it running over your dial-up overnight or while you were at school and no one was going to pick up the phone.
It's so funny. Yeah. So what are some of the things you like to do during your, for anyone who hasn't been into your stream or anything, what are some of the crafty things you do?
Well, I have two different kinds of streams. I have the gaming streams and then the art streams. For the gaming streams, I still have a channel point redemption called 3-Word Draw. And I basically stole Robo Dessert and Robert Highwind's drawing challenges, but put my own twist on it. So what people can do is they can redeem that as is with channel points, and they have to give me 3 words, like any 3 words. Like the one that I had today was zombies, carrots, diagnosis. Thank you, Echo Zeta. And I have, we've honed it down now onto approximately 9 minutes, because sometimes I fudge and like I gotta finish, to turn that into some kind of a drawing. And I try to make it as like off the wall as I can. Like today for that one, I did a zombie sitting on like a doctor's table that you would see in the office, and the doctor was Bugs Bunny munching on a carrot. You know, because all I could think of is "What's up, Doc?" Carrot, Bugs Bunny.
I love that. And I love how you do the painting part of it, like, or like I shouldn't say painting, but you know the what's it called? Isn't it just paint?
The digital. You talking about the like Affinity Designer, the digital stuff? Yeah, that's with Affinity. Because there's the 2 different modes in that program. You have the one that's like the vector side, where it's the really crisp, clear lines, and you like drag nodes and stuff around. But when you get into the pixel side, that's when you can use more of like a paintbrush and all that.
Enigma, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you. For everyone tuning in, there's my little raid message. Sorry I can't do it all right now, but we are sitting down with the wonderful CraftyGamerLady, learning about the adventure through this thing we all do called Twitch. But what else do you got? So I've seen you do more.
So that will usually happen during almost every gaming stream. I've got someone who will redeem that. And then I do the art streams, which some of them are just working in that same program, doing other people's emotes or graphics or my own. I've made all of my own emotes. And then I will do some table work for some streams, which I've done glass mosaics.
Oh, wow.
I've done painting. Yeah, I think those are the 2 big things I've done over there so far. I want to get into doing some of the diamond painting stuff. You know, the little, you have like a pen and you pick up these little diamond things, and it's like a color-coded mat, and you
I've heard Melissa
and just do that with like Stream Raider. Yeah, just for like a chill stream. Oh, thank you, Soap. That's what I'm going for. It was the painting stream was so comfy to watch. That's actually where we've landed now, is that it is a cozy stream.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, I like cozy stream. Don't get me wrong, there's certain people you go for the mayhem, and then there's certain people you go for the coziness. Like, I would consider Soap a cozy stream. Like when I go in there, I know it's just gonna be a good time.
Good chill.
Exactly, you know. And
it's pleasant to listen to.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But even like the cozy games and stuff, I mean, yeah, I'm playing God of War and you know, I wouldn't mind doing a rerun of like The Last of Us or something, but mostly it's the, and I get this from Robo Dessert, the indie influence with the little indie story games. And like we just did Lost Words Beyond the Page the last 2 Saturdays. That was a heavy emotional game, but it was so gorgeous, and it took everybody on that emotional ride together. So that's kind of where we've landed with the vibe. But it's my viewers have dubbed themselves now the Cozy Crafters.
That's awesome.
So that's just fine with me, because that's how I feel like I am in my natural state. And I'm not putting on an act for anybody. It's just that's who I am.
I think it's better when the audience dubs themselves something too, instead of trying to like be creative and come up with something that really doesn't fit. Like, just name yourselves.
Yep. And what's funny is we're actually, I've been, we're continuing to raise money for Extra Life, and then they've got the big stuff that usually happens in November. We just passed our $2,100 goal.
Oh, nice.
But when we get up to $2,600, I think, yeah, then the donation incentive is that the community will actually get to help me design the Cozy Crafter logo, and we'll start putting that on shirts and stickers and stuff like that.
Okay, well, there you go. You got an idea for it all. I like that. You getting the community involved in everything. No, I really like that. No, those are the type of things that I'm trying to pick up more on, because the people that I feel like, and maybe these topics are too whatever for streamers to get into sometimes, but the streamers that I feel like have been able to maintain their viewership through the dips, through the big ones, are the people like that are still involving the community with whatever they need to do. What do we want to do? What do we want to do better? All of that, and the streamers that I felt like weren't able to roll with the punches of that, I think they got too much into their own head, and they let it get to them. Where I love
fair.
that, just like, trust your audience and trust your community on what they want to see, and more people are bound to show up.
Yeah. I actually got some very, I'm going to keep kicking it back to Robert Hywen and Robo Dessert, because they've been they're amazing content creators. They are wonderful guys and friends in general. So genuine, so willing to help. I can go to either one of them anytime and say, hey, what do you think about this? Would you mind looking at this graphic for me and telling me if it looks right? Would you mind if I bounce this idea off you? And one thing that I think it was Robo was telling me is that you will find your community over time. And yes, there's going to be some overlap. Some of it's going to be people who are in my streams or in Robert's streams or in Michael's or whoever. But you're also going to get your own community members. So don't be frustrated if everyone that you're friends with everywhere else doesn't come and support you on your channel, because you're going to get a mix of 100%. The two. And that really helped me just kind of like settle down and be like, okay, well, it's not important that everyone is here all the time. We're all going to grow together. And since I started relaxing on that, it's just kind of naturally been falling into place, and we've been just steadily going
a part of it's like being realistic with yourself and being realistic about what it is. I don't like calling people out, but you see certain things on Twitter and you're like, well, there's a realism. Some people are just lucky, it's like, oh, how'd you get to 10,000 followers within 2 weeks? Oh, you lucked out. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with lucking out, and I think that's a good thing. But at the same time, like, it's being realistic of what your stream is with yourself, and it's like not being something you shouldn't be, and I will say, with everyone that I watch, you, Robert, Robo, Ham, Soap, everyone that I watch, Cranston, Kearns, like, everyone is so true to themselves, and they haven't let someone's success or failure sway what their stream is about. And I think that's, once again, some other good advice to give to the streamers that are still trying to get through it all. I love you, Kearns, and Sully, and Enigma, and Soap, and Echo, all you guys. I really appreciate all you. It's all about the community that, like, drive us to do this all the time. So
yeah.
It's hard sometimes, like, especially through failures, right? You have failures. I don't know if you've had any particular that you could share a story about, but you have these big ideas sometimes that you think you're going to be this is going to be it. This is going to be the next thing that gets me all the viewers, and then sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah. They've been more like little things here and there. Like, I will be honest with you, my God of War streams don't get as many viewers as the other ones, and I even told somebody that earlier today. It's like, that's another reason why I want to just push and grind to. By the way, if you hear elevator dinging noises, it's my security system. My husband just got home. I want to get through it because I want to get it off my schedule. Normally I would not stream a game like that, but because it was part of a fundraising challenge, I feel like I owe it to everybody for them to see me finish the game. But it's not doing as well as my other content because it's not my cozy, crafty type of vibe. We did have a good stream today. I had people coming in and out, and I don't regret doing it, but I need to get back to my vibe with that.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. And I think people are, there have been games I've gone halfway through and was like, one, my mental health is going down because I'm just not enjoying this. And two, I could see it's hurting my stream. So let's just cut it out. Let's just like, let's not like be fake. We could both be real. You as the viewer, me as the streamer. Like, none of us like this. Let's move on.
Yeah. I actually do. I remember one now. I tried the game Figment, and it's a good game. It's about, it's a cartoony type game about mental health. There's a character who's like the guardian of the brain, but they hadn't had anything that they've had to deal with, so they just kind of let themselves go. And now because they've like disappeared, all of these mental problems are starting to happen, and there's a nightmare that goes around and, you know, stole his journal or whatever. And you have to work your way through these different lands and solve all these puzzles. I got stuck at one point, and I was not, like, my fibro brain kept kicking in. For those of you that don't know, I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain and fatigue disorder. And it can mess with your brain. It can, like, I'm always aware of where I am and what's going on. I haven't ever, like, blacked out or been so confused that I don't know, you know, who people are anymore. But when you get a flare-up, it's almost like you're thinking through molasses, is how I describe it. It's like the neurons don't fire as quickly. And I could not get myself past, like, a certain point. And it was, you know, I've did that another time with, I don't even remember what game, but it was a platformer. Oh, it was with, like, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay.
It is a good game. It's very beautiful. I cried in the opening. It's graphically cool. But I feel like that's more of an off-stream game for me. And when I kept trying to do it on-stream and failing at the platforming, I was like, you know what? I'm getting frustrated. They're going to pick up on the fact that I'm frustrated. We're just going to do something else, and I'll finish this off-stream. And that was not a problem with them, you know? I just roll with it. Because they know.
So I've worked with a few people in my life that have had fibro, and I don't have fibro, so I can't, you know, talk. Wow, Penguin, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And there's some awesome people that got some gifted subs as well.
I see Robert on it. Reaper as well. Reaper's been also very genuine and helpful, and I don't want to leave him out of the list.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I was playing with them yesterday, or 2 days ago. 2 days ago now. So I've worked with some people with fibro, so I don't know the pains of that, but I do know the pains of Crohn's disease and just a chronic illness, you know. So it's one of those things that people don't see it on you, right? There's no identifying mark on you. There's nothing that's a rash or your arm's falling off, you know what I mean? There's nothing on you that just shows, hey, I'm in pain. But it's something we've learned to live with, right? You just go about your day. How's that struggle been for you, and what are the things that are helping you get through it, especially on while you're streaming? I'm never on my phone.
Well, yeah, you can see I stream in my recliner. That's a big thing. I mean, I sit here with my feet elevated most of the day because I think a lot of what started it, and my chiropractor thinks this too, my right hip is a little bit tilted. And it's easy for nerves to get in there and get pinched. And it also...
Like a hip dysplasia?
What do you mean? I don't know if it's that specifically, but it's like it's a little, like, crooked. And it's just enough room for nerves to get in there and get pinched, and then it gets inflamed. And the first time that happened, it was the month after I turned 30. I was out of work for a week, or a month. I could not go to work for a month. And it then pulls on things. Sometimes it'll pull up my back, sometimes it'll pull down through my legs, sometimes it goes across, sometimes it goes over to, like, the other shoulder blade and up my neck and, like, gives me a headache. And I was in so much pain from all of that on and off for so many years that my chiropractor thinks that that's what kind of kicked my body into a cycle of, like, your brain just says, nope, we're not going to try to process this anymore. You're just going to be in pain, like, all the time, and you're going to have these nerve flare-ups, and your brain's not going to work sometimes. So, yeah, being here, having my feet elevated to relax that hip and keep it, you know, from pinching things and having inflammation and all that, and then just trying to keep my anxiety low.
Stress levels.
With all the anxious stuff going on, guess how well that was working out. So I'm on anxiety medication and pain medication, but all of that helps manage everything. And as long as I can just not push myself and do the things that I can do while I can do them, and keep my body relaxed in my recliner and in this position, I can forge ahead just fine.
That's awesome to hear. It's one of those things, like I said, it's just, you never know. You never know until, like, someone tells you or something like that. Most people wouldn't know about me or anything like that until, like, it's like, hey, but someone who's going through it, your triggers, what, sets off the pains or the, whatever it may be, anxiety even, like what can trigger your anxiety. And I think it's good to just try and know what those triggers are and be able to stay away from them. Or for me, it's food, like a lot, and stress. Stress is like number one, But outside of stress, it's food. So as long as I stay away from certain things, I know I'm good.
There are some foods that I should go back to cutting out, but I love my mac and cheese and my bread.
I do too. I'm never giving up bread. Like that is
yeah, I may cut back on it though. I'm down about 20 pounds from where
congrats.
I was a couple months ago. Yeah, thanks. But Kearns, Penguin, Good Doc, Echo, you're absolutely right. It's the people who like try to downplay those internal issues. That's why another reason why I do what I do. And yes, Echo just said it, the accountability squad. I run a stream on Sunday nights now for people who want to take care of themselves physically, mentally, all these other things by setting goals that they can do to change some of their habits, but so we can keep each other accountable to making those changes. Sometimes it might be going to bed at a certain time. It might be, for me, I've had one the whole time of drinking at least 2 of these a day. It might be staying under a certain calorie goal or walking or what have you. And that I've got at least like 10 people that are on like a shared spreadsheet where we all can see each other's goals. We go in and we offer each other encouragement. And afterwards, on Sunday nights, then we play marbles on stream and I give away some Steam gift codes. So there's that little bit of positive reinforcement.
That's awesome.
And yeah, once we get through, I think October, we're going to start doing competitions with those. Nice. And like give away prizes for the people who make the most check boxes out of their goals in the month. Amazing. But yeah, so just encouraging people I've got a mental health channel in my Discord. I've got a physical health channel. I know a lot of people, I've met several other people who also have fibromyalgia. So we trade secrets and tips and things. People who can, if they need somewhere to vent about their mental health and get some feedback or tips that they might try to lower their anxiety or, deal with depression. Obviously, I make the disclaimer that none of us are experts, but we can all support each other and build each other up and point each other in the right direction. So bringing those kind of issues to the forefront is another reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's awesome to hear, and I agree. That's the type of stuff that I'm trying to reach towards as well. The better health, better mental, better everything, and you need your surrounding army to keep everyone up, right? So it's one of those things.
You're welcome in on Sunday nights.
I'm down. I'm gonna try ending call and calling you right back. It seemed to get real bad for a second all of a sudden, but I'm just gonna do it real quick.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Nobody read our messages. It seems better. Sometimes it helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. I love that idea. I've personally, I'm a skinny guy, but it's because of Crohn's disease. Like you build up ulcers in your stomach. For anyone who doesn't know, like the calories I take, the protein, all the important stuff, it goes through the ulcers in the bloodstream and kind of just your body doesn't absorb it, right? So it's hard. So like I gotta take in sometimes 2 to 3 times the daily amount of a normal person, right? So yeah, I'm supposed to be taking in like 35 to 4,000 calories a day minimum, like 100 grams of protein minimum. It's a really hard workout or diet to even maintain. So yeah, I might be popping in on the Sundays just to keep some accountability for that, because it's hard to do.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I don't know what that feels like, but I can see where it would be easy for some people to say like, oh, well, you know, boo-hoo for Dalton. He gets to eat like as much food as he wants and like not gain any weight. But if they don't stop and think about when they say that, what other things you have to deal with because of that. Yeah.
No, it's been a struggle. Like I've eaten more this last 3 months than I ever have in my life. Like, and it's hard. I've gained about 12 pounds. But I'm taking not just protein shakes, but mass gainer, like pure mass gainer. One shake is 1,300 calories, 300 carbs, 50 grams of protein.
Jiminy.
Like, it's insane how much I'm doing 2 of those a day now, just to try and like get everything in. So, and they don't taste good, guys. They don't taste good.
Oh no.
You know? So that's like
that's
exactly.
The worst.
But.
And it's not like you can just load up on all the stuff that's unhealthy for you to put on weight, because that's going to give you even more problems.
It really does.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. And, you know, people who would say, oh, well, look at Crafty. She gets to just stay home and work in her chair and play computer games and stuff all day. Well, do you want the crippling fatigue that makes you feel like you've got an elephant sitting on you at all times? Or do you want the nerve pain where you feel like the sparks go up and down your entire body all day long? Because you can have that.
I say to people all the time, like, I wish there was like something where like you put it on your head and you can just switch like bodies with somewhere. You feel my pain. Because I've told people like, we can go into it a little bit, but like I run a warehouse. I have employees under me and stuff. So I'm like the manager running everything, right? And like when people come in, it's like, oh, hey, my tummy's hurting a little bit this morning. It's like, your tummy's hurting a little bit this morning. How about you just switch bodies with me real quick? You don't know about the pain I went through this morning just to get here. The 3 times I thought I was going to throw up. You know, like, don't tell me about how little your tummy was hurting before you came into work this morning. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't have sympathy for the little pains when they're just like, you know what I mean?
Especially if you can tell that they're trying to get out of something. Don't get me wrong.
That's what they're trying to do.
And I've told people all the time, I was like, if you have a headache or if you've got something and you want to talk about it, don't feel like you can't, because it's nothing compared to me. But if you're just going to sit there and whine and complain over something a little because you don't want to go to school or go to work or something, get out of my face. You know? Yeah. But I've thought that too. I was thinking, you know, if I could just switch places with someone right now, my existence couldn't be in their body for more than like 3 seconds before you would just hear, you know? Yeah.
So what are some of the things that have led you to where you're trying to grow now? Like, I feel like we all need to have the goals that, you know, the first goal you hit, now I'm at affiliate, let's say, and then now I'm trying to reach a certain viewer count or a follower count or whatever it may be. What is that next big goal for you that you're trying to achieve?
I think for me, it's kind of a subjective goal. It's kind of that feeling of knowing that no matter when I stream, no matter what I'm doing on that stream, that people are going to be there. That at least a couple people are going to show up and chit chat with me, and then I'm not going to be by myself for 3 hours talking to nobody. You know what I mean? Just getting rid of that anxiety. And I feel like, I'm, pretty much there. Yeah. But then I also know, like, I want to see myself get to 1,000. You know, I'd love to get to that 4-digit number. And I want to get to the point where I can be continually offering the art classes. Like, I'm doing some things in October projects that people can do along with me, and know that people are going to be excited about that and show up for those too. So, presence, I guess.
I agree. Like, I struggle sometimes of the back and forth of, do I start a starting stream soon or starting stream soon screen? That's hard to say. Starting streams, anyways. Or do I just go live? You know, because I know some people need to roll in, and you know, you need to get your people to sometimes. Like, there's people I watch every day. Like Robo, I watch almost every time he's live. I don't.
He's cold open.
I don't know if I've ever. Yeah, he's exactly boom right away. You know, so like there's just certain people.
He doesn't have a starting screen. He's just there.
And like honestly, the only time I use mine is for stuff like this, for the podcast, where I'm trying to chat with someone before we get into it. Other than that, I'm at the point where like, let's just do it. When people come in, I'll just start talking to them.
I have a starting screen, and I usually like to see if anyone's gonna say hi or stuff. But also, it's kind of a selfish thing because I don't give myself enough time to get ready. I stream 100%. In the mornings, so I get up, I get out of bed, I come down here, I put down my coffee, I give the dog her treat, I get my music and stuff set up, I fire it off, and then while it's on the starting screen, I do my makeup and I send out this like the social media stuff while the starting screen is rolling so that people can see that I'm streaming and come in. But like Penguin said, that first high that you see in the channel, weight gone.
100%.
Like weight lifted.
Do you ever think, because this is just me asking a question because it's a thought I've had recently, because I've seen it with certain people's streams, like Bargain Bin Gaming, if no one's followed him, or Robert Hyman's a great example. You know, their starting soon screen is like clips and like videos of other streams they've had, and I think that's always been my worry about a starting, because Kern said he walked away for 5 minutes, and that's usually what I would do, is I'd walk away for 5 minutes. But then I'd get this anxiety that somebody would come in and leave because I wasn't there to interact with them during that starting soon thing. So I think that's why I got rid of it, because I was afraid I'd miss out on it, you know. But
yeah, for me, I will put, after like a couple minutes, I'll put like a hi emote in the chat or something, or then like starting shortly, or, you know, something to let people know that yes, I'm here and I'm coming and we're starting. But my goal is to start decreasing the time of that starting screen though, because sometimes I can leave mine up for a little bit too long just because I'm still trying to get myself settled. But that's actually one of my goals for this week, is to get out of bed 30 minutes, like no later than 30 minutes before stream starts, so that I can come down here, get settled, and be ready, and maybe only have like a 3-minute starting screen instead of like an 8-minute one. Have I done it yet this week? Absolutely not. Mornings are tough for people with fibro, but I'm getting there.
I totally get it. So I heard the little squeak earlier. How has it been having Crafty Gamer Hubby be able to support you and help you along the way through all this?
Amazing. I could not do it without him. He actually is just sitting down and turning on the stream. But he is my go get the thing, you know, unplug and plug back in the stuff and move the equipment around. But then also a mod, and like especially in the early days of like, hey, is my sound balance okay? Can you go in and like make sure that my microphone's not muted? Can you listen to the first 10 minutes of stream for me? And yeah, just invaluable amounts of help.
I love it when you see significant others just get in there and
there he is.
Well, thank you. I truly appreciate you. No, but I truly love it when I see significant others, not just support, but truly support. Like, hey, not just, hey, go have a great stream. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, like, because some people just,
there's different levels.
Some people just don't get it, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to blame that. Like, my ex just didn't understand Twitch. You know, she supported it. She just didn't understand, and she did not want to be involved and anything like that. So it's really cool to see. Yes, my boyfriend Brad. Yes, he definitely supports me. But it's awesome to see significant others get in there and on that level, modding for you, helping you out through all that. It's awesome to see. That's the type of relationship I want. It truly is.
Yeah, and my Penguin's wife here in the background watching on her Mac. Yeah, and he's been on streams. You know, we did our anniversary stream together. We did his birthday stream together. We did some stuff for we played the Captain Toad treasure trackers a couple times during the March Mario Madness to raise some extra life. It's if you've ever played the Super Mario 3D World, and you get those little mini games where Toad, they're walking around and like the cube keeps turning around and you go get the stars. They made a whole game out of that. So he and I, you know, we'll move the cart of all of my stuff. He'll pull his recliner over. We'll sit here and be watching on the monitors over here, and we'll talk to everybody. And I think the community loves that he's involved too. I mean, he's everybody's hubby. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome to see. No, it's and both y'all. It's funny because sometimes I'll like sometimes I'll think I'm talking to him or to you, because I don't know. I think of CGL and it'll just like combine into one thing, and I don't know. I get confused sometimes, but it's just so funny. But y'all are one entity. It's
Purple,
one entity.
Blue.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, there are some times where we are in fact one person. I think people also love it the most when he's watching the stream and they get the delayed laughter. Because he's not listening to me
That's
talk.
Funny.
He's listening to the stream.
Funny. A true viewer, you love to see it.
So he'll laugh afterwards. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what's some of the things you wish if you could go back to when you first started streaming and tell yourself? Like if it's tech support or mental support, what would be some of the things that you wish you would have done early on?
Well, there's obviously the long game of just be yourself and it'll all happen in time. Unmute your damn microphone. Because I have mine like up here, and so I don't have that red circle in front of my face to show me, but once I figured out how wavelength, beard in the hair actually showed me how wavelength works, and now it's not a problem. But I had so many false starts to streams in the beginning because my microphone would be muted, but nobody would be there to tell me yet.
I've had that.
So yeah,
been there.
That happened to me not even that long ago. It was another God of War stream where people just weren't there for like the beginning part, and something was muted for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, my buddy Brad, he's definitely been there as well. I remember I didn't know he was live, and then I saw he was live, and I hopped in, and he's just... I'm like, oh no, has he been muted this whole time?
And you hate to tell them because that you're gonna just get in their heads with it, but they gotta know. Yeah.
We started, I think it was 3 weeks ago now, because I moved some stuff around with my setup, and I have this like swing arm for my mic and everything, and so when I'm not using it, when I'm not using it, it's usually over there, right? So I forget. Yeah. And we did like 30 minutes, and my mic's just way over here. The audio was awful. It was just, I was like, all right, restart. Let's do it over again.
Oh man, the setup looks great. By the way,
thank you. It's taken some time, but it's finally something that I enjoy. Steve really likes it.
There's still some things I want to do with mine. Like you can see all the stuff I've got on the ledge up there. That was all there in the first place, but I just put some of the fall leaves and stuff up there like that. But I want to get some stuff, the artwork, the community paintings that we've done, that I'm actually, one of the things I'm working on this week is getting those finished. I want to get those like behind me on the wall, and I have actually a board that I want to put full of other streamers' stickers that I've been collecting and throw them up here, so it's like I have the community here with me,
No, I love
stuff like that. Change out the artwork every so often.
I do love that. I don't know. That's probably why I've changed stuff up so much. It's kind of the same stuff. It just kind of gets rotated around every now and then.
It freshens it up, yeah.
So usually around this time, I usually do it a little bit before, but we've been talking, having a good time. I have what I used to call my rapid fire questions, but the branding didn't really make sense to what the podcast was. So these are going to be my salty take questions. These are going to be,
okay.
Let's see how salty these takes are. Same questions, kind of, just a whole different rebranding of the name.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
So first thought that comes to your mind, you don't have to think too hard into them. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Dream vacation spot?
Florida. For Disney World.
Best pizza topping?
Mushrooms.
Is cereal soup?
Yes.
If you had to get one person's face tattooed on you, who would it be?
What? Yeah, no, I'm with Kearns. No. That was to this is Harry Potter.
That's not too bad. Daniel Radcliffe's an attractive man. You might be showing this with your stream, but best season?
Fall.
Easy. First game you ever played?
The Sesame Street 1, 2, 3 ABC game.
All right. Favorite game of all time?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay. How many holes does a straw have?
2.
Good. Great answer. Cat or dog?
Cat.
What villain do you empathize with the most?
Oh. Maleficent?
Oh, when I was thinking of the question, that was the person that I was like I just watched the movie. So thank you. I'm glad someone actually finally said it. Best Thanksgiving side dish.
The green bean casserole with the cheese and the crispy onions and the mushroom soup.
Favorite actor to play Batman and an actor you want to see play Batman.
Oh, geez. Favorite one that ever has played Batman? I haven't seen them all. Christian Bale.
Okay, that's a good choice.
The one to play Batman. This is not the answer, but for some reason I just want to say Robert Hyland.
That'd be great. I love it. Find the clip, everybody. Find the clip. That's an amazing clip.
Ryan Reynolds. That's a good one. I'm taking Kern's answer. Ryan Reynolds.
Is cheesecake a cake or a pie?
Pie.
Thank you. What's the best Power Ranger?
I never watched Power Rangers. I don't know.
If you had to choose,
Pink.
It's a great choice. Kimberly, I think that was her name. If you had to choose one condiment to have with every meal, every bite, what would it be?
Is sour cream a condiment?
I'll take it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sour cream. Because I kind of almost already do.
Would you rather be the first to explore space or the ocean?
Oh, the ocean. Space terrifies me.
If you had to choose,
I will not watch Gravity.
Oh, those movies suck. I can't.
I don't need to be thinking about being stranded in space. That is my biggest irrational fear.
If you had to choose one person to represent humanity if aliens came down, who would it be?
Adam Savage.
Okay, I like that. That'd be a pretty interesting conversation.
He's a solid dude.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Oh, I missed this one. Would you rather have aliens be real and covered up by the government, or have no extraterrestrial life at all in the universe?
None.
No extra life? We the only ones? Okay.
None.
We're living.
Yep.
It's a simulation, everybody. Which Pokemon best describes your personality?
Oh man, I don't know, because I'm not, like, the only thing I know of Pokemon is what Robo draws.
There it is. There's the clip.
What's the puppy dog like? The
new one? Yamper?
No. Rockruff. That one.
I remember that one.
Because he's like the most adorable that I've seen.
Okay.
Or I don't know, what's Eevee like?
Eevee I think is a little bipolar because it changes into every type of, you got Jolteon, I would say Eevee's a little bipolar.
Gotcha. Whatever's you know what? Snorlax.
Okay, I like that one.
Snorlax.
Would you rather live without Google or social media?
Social media.
Okay, I like that. That's what I
Social
would
media is
choose as
trash.
well.
Yeah, as long as we're not including Twitch in that.
I don't. I'm not, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Favorite movie of all time? And not to put you on the spot, it could be one of your favorites.
I'm gonna have to say it's the whole set of from The Hobbit all the way through Lord of the Rings. So I can't parse those out. It's all 6 of them. And
this is by far the most important question. I literally get DMs about this every week. Dalton, when's your next guest? We need to know. No. Is water wet?
Man. Yes.
Well, it was a good stream, guys. It was a good stream until...
Rip my career.
No, it's okay. I think it's, it's one of those, you can make arguments for both. Echo had a pretty solid argument one time. So,
Well, what's the argument? I mean, for me, like, it depends on what it's coming into contact with.
So yeah, so I personally, my stance is I don't think water is wet. I think becoming wet is almost like a verb. It's like the act of becoming wet. And water can't become wet. It's already wet, right? So like to me it's not. It's not wet. So like if I have my bottle that I poured water in, then my bottle becomes wet. But my water isn't wet. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just how I see it.
No, it does, because that's kind of what I was going to say, is like it depends on what it's coming into contact with. So it's more about the action, like what is happening to the thing. So, okay, if I can change my answer given the chance to think about it, then yes. No, it's not.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, what Echo said. Yeah.
Water itself is not wet. The presence of water on something else makes it wet. You get wet from water, but water itself is not. Exactly. So, like I said, I try and explain it as like a verb. Like think of it as like a verb of becoming wet. I feel like that's just the easiest way of explaining it.
Now that I've not been put on the spot and I had a chance to think about it, that's a solid answer. Yeah. You've convinced me.
So I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but how has it been going from having a job, going through the pandemic, getting into Twitch streaming, and now becoming a stay-at-home streamer? Has it been difficult at times? I know money and bills aside or anything like that.
Money aside, easiest decision I've ever made. I've wanted to get out of the workforce for a long time, especially now with the fibro, because it's like my health depends on it. I have to be able to have the downtime and to keep my feet elevated for my hip and my back and everything. And then just the energy that it saps out of me during the day to drive anywhere, because we live like 20 minutes out in the country. So easiest decision. And I think part of me is spoiled by that because I can't do a lot of the chores around the house. Sure. Which frustrates me to no end. I wanted to be able to be super wife. If I was going to stay at home, I wanted to do all of the things so that he didn't have to when he got home. But I'm limited, and my chiropractor, who is like, my husband and I both have the same chiropractor, brought him into one of my appointments one day and said, you can't let her vacuum, run the lawnmower, or do the dishes, or carry laundry baskets. She can't do it. The angle that I would have to stand at over the sink, or the repetitive motions of pushing the lawnmower or the vacuum cleaner back and forth, is what's going to pinch nerves and set off all of the pain like tenfold. So the being at home but like having to motivate myself to get up and do all the chores all the time is kind of non-existent for me. So that also made it easier. However, part of what I'm setting the accountability thing for is to make sure that I'm doing certain things every day. I'm drinking enough water still. I'm trying to get up and move around as much as I can. I'm still doing the things that I'm able to do. Like, I can dust. I can walk around with, like, the feather duster. I can clean the bathroom. That's about as much physical activity as I can take before I have to sit down, before the fatigue, like, crushes me into the floor. So just starting to settle into a routine, making sure that I'm still getting up at, like, a decent time every day, so I'm not sleeping all the time and forgetting to be a human.
Yeah.
And I think the streaming has helped with that. Switching my schedule so I mostly stream in the morning keeps me enough in a daily routine that I still feel like I'm a productive member of society. You know what I mean?
How's it been streaming in the morning? Did you used to stream in the afternoon and then switch to that? And if so, how was the viewership change? Because I know some people can be night owls, morning people.
Yeah. It was in the evenings, actually, and I found myself getting discouraged because I was competing with so many other streamers.
Sure, that makes way more sense, yeah.
Being able to stream during the day, especially in the morning, not only do you catch the people who are still at home or who want somewhere to lurk while they're working at home, or the overseas people, everyone in the UK, all the friends that we've made. You know, they now are able to see me, where when I was streaming at night, I have one of my longest supporters is Dragon Pockets, and she would tell me about how she would watch my VODs every day because she couldn't see me live, but she still wanted to catch the streams. Now she gets to see me live, and we get to talk to each other. So that has been a really, really good change. And then I feel like I'm kind of filling a little bit more of a void where there's so many people at night. There's not as many people from the US during the day.
I feel like that's always been my main struggle, because as much as I want to be a successful streamer and not even a streamer, I'd like to be a successful podcaster. I think that's more than anything. That's probably where the talents lie. I truly see myself as a viewer first. You know, like it's always kind of felt like that to me. Like I'm the annoying person in chat, like that talks way too much. You know what I mean? Like it's just
guilty.
So it's like I've always felt like a viewer more so than a streamer, or a viewer that streams. You know, so I felt that same thing where like certain nights that I know these people are going to be streaming, where it's not even, I'll be real, it isn't even the viewership thing sometimes for me. It's that I truly just want to go hang out in their stream. I want to go hang out in Kurd's stream. I want to go hang out with, like, Soap only streams 2 days a week. Like, those 2 days, I want to be there. You know what I mean? So it's like, I hate streaming on that.
When I say competing with other streamers, I guess I should clarify myself, because I don't mean for their viewers. I mean like for the time slot, because there are 3 people that I refuse to stream at the same time as: Michael Fosbeck, Robo Dessert, and Robert Highwind, because their streams, to me, I consider all of them friends. I want to support them, but it's also a part of like my mental health routine. And my viewers and I have talked about this, is like there are certain people that you just resonate with, that they give you a source of comfort to watch their content every day. And it's a part of like, you feel like something's wrong when you miss that. And I feel like I don't have part of my day. Like tomorrow is Robo's like community day, because it's the last day of the month. He's doing his giveaway and everyone's going to be playing games together. I have a lunch that I have to go to, and I'm going to miss most of that. And it's honestly upsetting me. It shouldn't, but it's that much. I hold that much of my mental health care routine so dear that I will not stream during any of those 3 people. Having said that, then I like need to figure out, where am I going to fit? There are going to be sacrifices of other people that I am going to have to go up against and miss their streams sometimes. Like Amber Ramey, just, she streams with me on Fridays. We've been doing Ranch Simulator. She just started streaming. I haven't been able to catch but half of her streams because of just the scheduling conflict. And you have to kind of wrangle that with yourself of what are you going to let yourself afford to miss so that you can stream, or that so you can be with certain people but not be able to be 85 places at once.
I 100% understand that. It's hard. Like, people will call me out on it. They're like, Dalton, you're everywhere today. And I'm like, I am everywhere. Like, I'm just like hopping in between people's streams. I'm trying to catch everyone. Because there are some days where
you hopped in mine earlier.
There are some days where like my list to the left is full. I gotta go to show more and show more, because like everybody's live that day, so it's super difficult. And I never want anyone to, I know it's an internal thing, right? I never want people to feel like I'm not supporting them.
Yes.
Especially the people that I'm close to, that I've become close to.
Yeah, they know, but you want to, be there anyway. And it's,
my schedule.
I mean, people will say that about me, all too. Like, you check in on so many people every day. How do you do it? And I'm like, I got one on the TV. I got one on this monitor. I've got someone's chat over here. I've got this over here, and I choose who I listen to, like every 10 minutes or so, and then I move on to like the next group of people. Like, I have to go say hi to my friends so they know that I still love them.
Well, it's funny because I think 2 days ago, or I think the last 2 days, I've just hopped in Reaper's stream just to say hey. And both times I think you've been playing, so it's just, I think
just so happened this week, because I realized I hadn't seen Reaper in a long time, so I've been making more of an effort this week to be in his streams, and like, oh, we're gonna play Dead by Daylight, dude, I'm down. Yeah. Like Echo said, hey again, Crafty, totally haven't seen you 4 times today. Dustin and I run in like all of the same streams, and so we're like, oh, hi for the 6th time, Dustin.
And then the normal stream thing of just yelling each other's names through the chat.
Yes. Yep. When you go into someone's chat and everyone is screaming like your name, and you have to yell back at people, that is such a heartwarming feeling to me. It's like you walked into the Cheers bar and everyone's like, Norm!
That's so funny. It is kind of like that, right? Oh, man. That's so great.
Yeah, where everybody knows your name.
So what if it's some of the outside of support from people? Because I would say, like, getting back to the schedule thing, you know, I haven't felt like it was a bad thing to not stream on certain days, because I felt like networking could gain me as many followers or viewers as if I was live that day. You know, I feel like being in people's chat, and I hate to say it like this, it's gonna sound awful when you say it like it, but whatever. I gotta, you know, call an onion an onion. But when you like see someone stream and like you're in there and you're obviously like a part of their stuff, and then someone new comes in and like, oh, I like this person too, the way they chat, I get curious when I jump in people's stuff. I click on their name. Oh, hey, they're a streamer. I'm gonna go check them out now. You know, like I feel like that just naturally happens, and I feel like I've gained probably more followers through other people's streams than I was actually live.
Yeah, sometimes that's definitely the way it is, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, it's really, when you're a streamer here, that's what we do, is network. You know, we talked in the beginning of the conversation about, were you a viewer first or were you a streamer first? Well, we were viewers first, and we got enough encouragement and a boost in the beginning because we already had some of that network in place. And so, and you got to keep working at that too. So yeah, I mean, one of the things I need to get better at is rating people I don't know. Because I do also, you might not know it, but I have a bit of social anxiety.
I'm the same.
And so new people to me, and like, I don't want to like go in to somebody new and not have time to sit there and talk to them. So if I'm rushed to get off, then I'll just go to one of my like people that we've rated 15 times already. But I want to start like making myself twice a week, you're going to raid somebody new and start making more connections, not just for the sake of growing, but to get to know other people and see if you can provide a service to them with your content.
100%.
You know,
like something I say it on the stream a lot. So it's heard me say, oh my goodness, my freaking camera. Sorry, guys.
See, I'm just looking at you on the Discord window, so I
have a whole I'm getting a new camera soon, but oh god, what was I just saying? What were we just talking about? Streamer brain,
networking and going in and raiding and talking to new people.
So something I've told so many times is like I'm a true. This is just in life in general. I'm a true believer in no awkward moments. I hate awkward moments. Right? I gotta like. I either avoid them completely, where like if I know this would be an awkward moment, like say like rating somebody new, right? Like sometimes it's like I'll be real. The main reason I don't raid people new all the time is because I know I'm about to dip and do something, and I know Kearns understands that I'm gonna raid and dip real quick to go get something to eat, and I'll be back in 30 minutes. You know. I don't want to feel like an asshole when I go raid somebody and I'm like, oh, cool stream, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly what I did today, because I was streaming for 6.5 hours trying to get God of War done. It was like 4:35 and I was like, okay, I gotta like get off stream. I gotta check my notifications. I gotta drink some water, redo my makeup, and then like get on this podcast. So I raided Hekvetica because I know he encourages people. If you've just gotten done streaming, don't feel like you have to stay. You need to go take a breath. You need to go stretch and eat some food. He will say that to them so that you don't have to feel awkward. I was like, I'm going to Heck. drop all my people off there.
No, I was saying like Enigma when he rated and he left a message, which I always appreciate. I truly appreciate it when like, hey, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I wanted to raid you, and you never feel like obligated that you have to. The support is enough, and it's coming from someone that does it. I get it, truly get it. So yeah. I feel like most of us understand.
Yeah.
So getting into the last few questions, this is I got a few more questions for Crafty, but this is where I'll start opening it up to people in chat. So if anyone in chat has any questions for Crafty or myself, I'll answer some questions. I don't mind. Start dropping them, and once we get through these last few, we'll get into them. The community questions. So what were the
Levi?
I'm sorry.
Levi wanted to ask. Sorry, I'm doing your job for you. I gotta get out of streamer mode.
It's so funny because when I'm a guest on other people's podcasts or streams, sometimes I feel the same way. I'm almost like, boom, it's like a switch. It's like let's do this.
Yeah, Michael Fosbeck and I stream together a lot because we have a really good groove with each other. We can go on to each other's channels, and we're just both in streamer mode, but we kind of like just naturally rotate in and out of it. So it doesn't matter if I'm on his channel and I talk to his chat because he's doing this other thing. We both just.
I think that's awesome to have that. You can see it with Robo and Robert. It eliminates the dead air, right? There's no dead air. When people understand about the dead air, it's like, once again, no awkward moments, right? No awkward moments here. We just go through it.
Yep.
But outside of like the best PC, the best camera, the best whatever, what are some good resources or equipment that have helped you along the way through the streaming?
Spotify, to get good DMCA free music, because again, with the silence, I don't like silence. I'm honest listening to the midnight on low in my earphone right now. So finding a way to create a good environment by having that music there in whatever way you can find it. Obviously relying on other streamers is, if we can consider that a resource. Like I said, I can go to the three gentlemen that I've mentioned multiple times tonight and ask them to bounce ideas, around and things like that. What else have I been using? A lot of my stuff really is like equipment related, like, wavelength audio adjusting software and all that. But, yeah. And for me, especially too, with my ability to make my own things, I've now got, like, I make my own emotes, I make my own overlays. So there's a certain element of being self-sufficient that I think kind of maybe doesn't make me the best person to ask advice for those resources. For sure. But yeah. No,
I think that's still, still just good advice.
It's starting with what, like I use Streamlabs still. I'm sorry, Avenged. I'm sorry, everybody else. I still use Streamlabs. It's fine. But using the free tools that they have for you to start with.
I agree.
And then you can always switch to better, different stuff later.
I agree.
Just use what they offer for you and help get yourself stable and established. And then worry about the fancy schmancy whatever.
100%. Yeah, if there's some stuff I could go back and say, I was like, forget the crazy overlays and everything, like, you don't, like, my stream is very simplistic. Oh my, what is that? Is that me? Is there someone coming unplugged? I'll show it off real quick, but like my main screen now, like it's just a simple cam, that's it. Before I had, like this whole thing, it was like the stuff below, images below, a little guy that said hello, all this stuff, but I'm more towards the simplistic now, Yeah. Which I think is fine, but I do agree. Streamlabs have some amazing stuff for beginning streamers to latch onto right away to make themselves feel better. Because I think a lot of it is just you don't want to have a crappy looking stream, and it really does add some flair.
Yeah.
So how's it?
Oh, and if nothing else, lighting.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Good lighting can get rid of a multitude of sins with your camera. Just buy a $15 ring light off Amazon and get yourself lit. I
use So these lights behind me, they have they're meant for white. They're meant for like the white. So they have 3 different versions of white. So that's what I just used a couple strips and I put them along the wall. And now, like, I don't know if it'll work, but I could change like the kind of whiteness that I like, you know.
I've got the same thing, the warmer, the brighter, and then the bluer, and I stick with the bluer.
And like, so if you're not trying to spend a bunch of money, get something like that. Like it's I think they were like $5 a piece for 6 feet. You know, you don't need that much.
I got my LED strips and they're covering from like that corner all the way over here to the window, and then also went over like in my hubby's direction, like less like $20 on Amazon for the whole strip. And you like, you know, you got this many colors, you can mess around in different modes and stuff, just to give that little bit of pop. Exactly. It doesn't have to be some super expensive lighting system.
Truly agree.
Yeah.
So outside of the main people we've talked about, your Robert Highwinds, your Rowboats, your Mike Rowboats, I don't know what I just said, and Michael, who are some other streamers that have helped influence you, helped guide you, give you advice?
How much time you got? Purger, Reaper's Past. I almost have to like pull up my list because there's so many. Cranston, especially. F&H Paul. I'm gonna leave people out, and it's gonna piss me off.
Anyone who's left out, don't feel bad.
You know, and getting to know newer streamers who have come after me, like Twinkle's Gumdrops and Dustin, and just seeing Avenged, Tricks, and Vegas and their support, you know, with being mods and dealing with crowd control. Scooter Cannon.
Scooter.
Great guy. I miss him. I got a message from him today saying that he's still trying to work on balancing everything with his new workload, but wants to come back ASAP. Yeah, I know I'm leaving people out, but those are the immediate ones that come to mind. Yeah.
Well, I think that's awesome. As the people that influence, and same as the mods. Like, I know you're an amazing mod on People channel. Like, that's something, my mod has been working super hard in other states, so he hasn't been around the last month or two. So, you know, I've lost my mod, kind of, but I know he's
gotta get you some more.
I know, I just made Penguin a mod, because he's been chilling a lot more, and I know he has mod duties in other streams as well, so...
Yeah.
He didn't like ask for it, but he was like, "Oh, if I'm mod, I could help you out with this." And so I just went ahead and made him a mod.
There's Michael.
Like, oh, what up? I appreciate the follow.
I was actually just going to mention Michael because Michael's one of my mods, and so is Dustin and a couple other people who are also streamers themselves. And I think if they're willing to, if you find those streamers that you vibe with, that you have that trust with, having a mod who is a streamer, they know what to look for. They know, you know, without you having to tell them what to do and when to do it.
That's the funny part, is like, for me at least, because I'm such a networker. Like, I'm really bad at the social media thing. Like, you'll see me post, but I'm really, I see what other people have said, right? And I know everyone says they hate going through their feed and it's nothing but going live notifications and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I hate flooding my social media feeds with stuff like that. If I ever do, it's stuff like this where I never feel bad about promoting other people, ever.
Yeah.
You know, so like when I'm posting about other people, I'll do that all day. So it never feels bad. Yeah. But when it comes to me, I'm like, hey guys, I'm live. I can't do it on social media. I need to be better at it.
I'm not gonna lie. I let Streamlabs send out the Twitter notification for me, and maybe at some point I'll turn that off. But I at least, if I don't get it in the Discord, people get a little testy sometimes.
Oh yeah, well Melissa has actually been Melissa's luckily in everyone's stream, honestly, but she'll let me know right away. Like if I've streamed for like 30 minutes, she's like, hey, you didn't hit your Discord. I'm like, appreciate
Echo
you.
just said the same thing. I'm always getting yelled at by Melissa for forgetting to post in my Discord.
Exactly. So I appreciate the viewers who come in and help me out with those type of things.
saying that I'm going to get into stuff like TikTok, but you know, I just don't have the time right now, and I don't know if that's really. I'm getting a lot of word of mouth, you know, followers by just like we talked about networking and rating other people. And when I talk about the art content, because that is something that is a little bit more different than everything than the other usual gaming stuff, that sparks a lot of people's interest enough to where I've still been able to maintain that steady growth, even though I don't have an aggressive social media marketing plan, you know?
Well, like, we've talked about him so much, this might as well be the Robert Hywen Robo Dessert podcast. But
Mutual Appreciation Society.
You know, like, I'm selling it short when I say that. I truly look at their content for inspiration, advice, what to do when it comes to Twitch streaming, when it comes to setting stuff up, how to act as a streamer, what to be posting on YouTube, your social media presence and how they do everything. Maybe I just feel like they're perfect, but I feel like everything they post and everything they do, I feel like just fits so easily, and it never feels overbearing. It never feels like in your face. It almost feels like a surprise. It's like, oh, hey, here's another video, or here's like the next thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's just organic. Yeah,
like that's the point I would love to reach, and maybe I'm just in my own head about most of this stuff, but I just think the way they lay it out is just so perfect.
It took me a while to do this, but I've gotten good at learning from them, but yet not comparing myself to them.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the other streamers that I look up to. It's important to not compare yourself to someone else with the different life experiences that you've had. It's going to be bringing you to different places at different times because you're thinking about certain other things. Yeah, Robo Dessert and the other guy in co-op comedy, according to my 6-year-old. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, it's, I don't know. It's like, I don't compare myself to other streamers because there's no one who's like me, right? Like, I feel like I'm pretty, there's people that could be similar, but I feel like my thoughts are mine and how I go about everything. So I don't really compare myself stream-wise to anybody, but I do have like somewhat of a competitive nature, you know? When I see people, if let's say me and so were doing the exact same thing, streaming the exact same game, doing all that, and you know, I was staying stagnant while they grew, there would be that thing like, dang it, what did I do wrong? You know, what did I miss out on that they were doing right, you know?
And that's fair.
And I don't I'm not hating on that other person.
I try not to do that too much. Yeah, Soap said, compare yourself to me if you ever need an ego boost.
No, you're killing it, Soap.
No.
I say it every stream, I'm a slow burn.
Yeah. I like that. I will admit there are some times where I will see that I've got more followers and more of like a presence in the viewership than some people who have been doing it for longer, and I feel bad.
Sure.
You know, it's like, well, they deserve to be doing way much better than me. Like, why am I so special? Like, why let me shove people their way. So if you'll notice, like I spend a lot of my day, a lot of my time trying to talk about other people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're all in this, you know, together. We've all become friends enough with each other and bonded enough to where we want to see each other do well.
100%.
And not have that, like, you say competitive nature, but I know you mean that it's in like like fine tuning yourself and you know, the playful nature. It's not like an aggressive.
Exactly. Like,
I'm gonna take you out.
Compare it to a sport or something. Like, let's say me and Penguin are both wide receivers in the NFL. Like, sure, I'm competitive where I want to try and do better, but that doesn't mean we can't both be all-stars, you know? Like, that. It's like,
or you can't go out for a beer after the game.
Exactly. Like, I want the person next to me to succeed. I really do. Like, me and my buddy Brad talk about all the time. Like, we truly, I truly think Brad is one of the funniest people I've ever met. Like, I think when he's just naturally himself and not trying to put on, because you know, he's one of the people, he might hate them saying it, but when the camera's on, he it's a little bit different. But when it's me and him on the phone or just talking, legitimately one of the funniest people I have ever met, you know? And it's like, why can't I be that funny? Like, I almost like try and like, it's like, hey, he's just that's natural. That's just him, you know. And like some people, it's just naturally them, naturally nice, naturally. It's funny because like I think it's for some people it's always like that, and for some people, you know, it takes a while. You know, like the people that were popular or had a lot of, I shouldn't say popular, but had a lot of friends in high school. Or the people that have a lot of followers now on Twitch, you know what I mean? Because they're the people that they're drawn to, you know? So
they have that personality that just draws people in immediately.
Yes.
Yeah, the slow burn. I like that. I like that. I try to be quick-witted, but then sometimes that damn fibro brain kicks in. It's just like, what's a pun?
I have streamer brain, and obviously I partake in the devil's lettuce, so it doesn't, the combination of the two don't really help with me. So my last question before I scroll back through and go through some of the questions in chat. If you were the host of A Dash of Salt and you could step into my shoes, what are some questions you would ask through the stream or through the podcast?
Why do you do what you do?
Okay.
So what, like, we talked about, like, why did you become you know, what led you to become a streamer, but, like, really why? Because for me, it's the whole, you know, we talked about, like, I want to share what I have with other people and build a community where we can all hang and be cool. Like, chill cool, not like...
Yeah, I get
Yeah. Not like Hellsman Gaming cool. So yeah, why do you do what you do? Like, what motivates you? Where do you see yourself if you could have the ideal path forward? Where would you see yourself in like 2 years of streaming? If everything worked out the way you wanted it to, what would your content look like? How big would you be?
I like that. Yeah,
Where do you want to end up? Yeah.
No, I truly like it because that, I don't know. I've been talking about this a little bit more with just in stream, not on podcast or anything. But I want to, and it's part of it's getting the right guest to finally do it with. But I want to have like I want to go deep. I want to go like psychological deep. I want to go into how deep our brains can usually get, and like the weird, not weird, the embarrassing thoughts you have that come to stuff, or the, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the stuff that you don't like to talk about that I want to talk about, you know what I mean? So
let's get on comfy.
Exactly. I like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me scroll back through, and if I miss any of your questions, just retype them. Just retype them.
Crafty's uncoziest stream ever.
Levi wanted to ask when your birthday was, Crafty.
January 13th.
January?
I was born on Friday the 13th at 7:13 p.m.
That's so fun. That is my brother's birthday.
Oh, really?
And my brother's birthday is January 13th.
Yeah, and Friday the 13th, and I turned 13 on Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was born in 1980 though, so I think he's a tad bit older.
See, I was 84.
A tad bit older.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
What's something you want to try to do on stream but afraid it would fail?
Honestly, and I just realized that I didn't include this in the answer. I can't seem to pull off a community game day.
Sure.
Like, whenever I announce that we're going to do like Mario Kart or whatever and have a whole list of games, like, no one's there. Mm-hmm. Or like people are there like, I'm just here to watch or listen or whatever. It's like, I want to do big community game days, but yeah, I'm a little apprehensive now after a couple of failed attempts.
That's 100% the reason why I haven't even tried. I've wanted to, well, don't get me wrong, the board game night is kind of one, but that's more like with other streamers. It's more to like have fun with other streamers. That's not meant for the community per se.
And that's planned.
Yes, true. Yeah. The community night, like Jackbox, Mario, whatever it may be, like I've wanted to do it, but like watch me do it, and then I'm the only one sitting in my Jackbox lobby. So I just haven't even wanted to go through the embarrassment of it. So I've stayed away from it.
Avoiding those embarrassing situations, which I'm the same way. I would like, as much as I loved watching shows like I Love Lucy when I was a kid, there were some shows where it's just like, oh, I know the embarrassing situation that's going to happen, and I don't want to see them go through it. I'm not even going to watch.
Yep, the cringe hits me hard at times. Yeah,
the cringe factor is real.
What advice do you have for people trying to find their identity as a streamer?
Turn your viewer count off, because it's just going to get inside your head and it's going to freak you out. I know you're worried about if there's people there or not. I know you're worried about your average. You will get an email after stream with your average. Don't worry about it. Just be you. Talk as if you always have people in your chat, whether they're going to answer you or not, because then that is also by forcing yourself to talk and narrate what you're doing, it's going to help you settle into how you're going to operate when people are there.
Exactly.
And so don't worry about who's there. Just run your game, do your content, have your monologue, and let it be you and let it be natural.
True. I don't know if it's an OBS thing, like OBS Studios, but I can't even see my viewer count. Like in Streamlabs, it gave you the option to have it on, turn it off, but in OBS, like, there may be a thing to turn it on, but I don't even have it on. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And like this, I never want to sound rude when I say certain things. Unless you're averaging 70 viewers and you're close to 75 to hit partner, does it matter that much? I feel like as long as you're growing and you're happy with the content, you're happy with what you're doing, like most of us know a good stream, right? Like if it's from the viewer engagement, stuff like that, that's kind of how as a streamer we constitute if it was a good or bad stream, right? But I feel like we should get more towards like, did I just have a good time playing the game or with my community and stuff like that? Like I've kind of worried less about the good streams, new followers, new everything like that, because I'm not hitting 70 average viewers anytime soon, you know what I mean? So I'm not worried too much. And maybe that's a bad thought to have, because I have seen my average viewers dip a little bit, but you know, we'll get back up there. And I will say, I want the people who are around to just want to be here for me and like me, not the maybe facade I was trying to put on as a streamer.
Right. I do look at it, and I'm gonna.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying.
Yeah. No. Different people, and this is the point I'm gonna get to. Soap was saying. I know some people use the post-stream email to learn from their success or failure, yes. But I personally don't even look at those stats because I know it will discourage me. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. For me, what I use it for is not to determine success or failure in the viewership numbers necessarily, although I do look at it just to see. The reason I look at it is if I'm doing like a certain type of game,
yes, I was just
and I'm seeing that those are lower viewership days, obviously that's not gonna be something that flies on my channel.
Cut the game out.
Yeah, I'm still being me while I'm playing it, and during the process I'm not putting on a facade, but it's more about trying to monitor what content is doing well. So I do look at it for that, but I don't let it determine like my self-worth as a human being. You know what I mean?
I meant more of like not looking. There's nothing wrong with looking at your view count. That's not what I meant. To be like to stress so much unless you're first trying to hit affiliate, unless you're trying to hit, because I know like certain stream teams want you to like average a certain thing, or you know what I mean, like unless there was a point where I wanted to really join a stream team, but then I saw the pyramid scheme of not every stream team's like it, but I kind of saw the pyramid Ponzi scheme of kind of how these stream teams do things, and like I lost so much respect for the big ones, or I'm like, Crafty, I would love for you to hit partner so I could just join your stream team, you know, just something genuine, not this like weird, like trying to get the people at the top better and everyone at the bottom kind of just stays where they are, you know?
Yeah.
But once again, nothing wrong with looking at your viewers. I didn't want to make it seem like it, you know.
Different people are going to mark how they want to progress in different ways.
Yes.
And that there's nothing wrong with any of the options.
I look. But just like what Crafty said, it's only because I started a new game. I played it a few times. it didn't do well, we're cutting that out. Like I was playing Fallout, and then when we got done with Fallout, I went over to a new world. A new world? No, that game just came out. Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds.
There's Outer Worlds and there's Outer Wilds.
Outer Worlds, yes, like the Fallout style game.
Yeah. Yep.
One, it didn't do as well on stream, and two, it was one of those games I truly had more fun playing it off stream. So it was one of those things I just cut it out, you know.
Yep.
What's something you're proud of that you would never put on your resume?
Something I'm proud of that I would never put on my resume?
I play a mean knee slap.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I don't know. Because I'm pretty open and honest about everything. I don't have like a secret talent, you know. Because I mean, even one of my biggest talents is the music making stuff, and I do put that on my resume because I got a degree in music education.
Okay.
I would put the artwork on a resume because what if I'm wanting, you know, if it was a business related thing, I guess the artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. I would like to say that I think that if it was like a workforce thing, if it was like a resume for work or whatever, that I do a great job of putting smiles in other people's faces. I have a contagious like thing about me at work.
Yeah. You do.
Thank you. What's the weirdest thing you have on your desk streaming area? Ooh, goodness.
Do we want to talk about the blue gummies? I mean, that's medicinal purpose.
Yeah, y'all don't. I don't know if I could show everything that's on my desk over here.
Right. I have a coffee cup that says "Talk nerdy to me."
I guess I could.
All my pills. I have like all of my medication over here. I've got turmeric and glucosamine chondroitin and CoQ10 and gabapentin and Cymbalta and apple cider vinegar and, you know.
I guess I can show it because there's really nothing on here. But if this shows you anything about like what's on my stream, a rolling tray, a grinder, some paper. Yeah, that's like my desk area, you know.
Yeah.
That's basically what I do with my life. Oh, and then like a Switch thing now because I finally got a Switch.
Oh, there you go.
You know, random water bottles.
That's probably, I mean, I've got
that'd probably be the most embarrassing thing.
My cart sits right here next to me, so I have everything within reach. You know, with fibro, everything's got to be accessible. I've got my PlayStation, my streaming like notebook that I keep notes for myself in, and then all of my makeup stuff. I've got my Switch and my capture card and like a scent warmer. I've got all of my like bills and paperwork that collect up and all of my medications. Everything health related is like right here. My like skin sticks. Oh, I do have 3 little bottles of Screwball whiskey.
Nice,
just right
yes.
Right here within reach, just in case we're doing a celebration stream and anyone wants to toast, I can toast with people. And then over here I've got a little I hope this doesn't turn the camera off, but yeah, I've got like a little crocheted thing that holds the remote controls. I've got my drawing tablet and my game controller are right down here next to me, so I can live like in this chair.
That's so funny.
For a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the water bottles are my most embarrassing thing I have on my desk.
What?
There's just empty water bottles, you know. Like I just end up putting behind the monitor and then I forget about it and go to bed. So there's just a stack of them.
A roll of toilet paper. Hey, I've got toilet paper too, because those are what I use for tissues.
There you go.
A jar of pickles.
Oof. That is one of your redemptions, I guess. I could see that.
Marshmallows and a lighter?
We
Makeshift roasted marshmallows. Get it, so.
I was saying, what are you roasting marshmallows at your desk for? Well, are there any more questions? I have a couple questions. I'll let them roll in if anyone has any more. But not to go into the specific area of where you live, but you said you are out in the country. I've always wondered, because being in Oklahoma, I could save some money living out in the country a little bit. But I think that I would sacrifice my Wi-Fi, and I don't know if I want to sacrifice it. Is that something that you guys have had to sacrifice being out there, or has it still been pretty good?
No, it's still been pretty good because we have Xfinity,
Okay.
Comcast.
Yep.
The only problem is that if I get fed up with, their prices or anything like that, they're really the only option.
Yeah.
Like there's some little like podunk internet companies or whatever, but they don't have nearly the speed that I'm gonna need and all that. So like Xfinity and Comcast better not make any huge changes in their internet service, but I don't have fiber out here. I can't get fiber.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like I have fiber right now, and like so I would just hate to leave and go back to slow internet again.
Yeah, but at the same time, I haven't had any issues either. I mean, we even double checked. We have the fastest internet available through Comcast.
Nice.
And it's freaking fast.
That's
so
perfect.
Yeah.
By
the way, I don't mind saying we're in Eastern Washington, so yeah, Eastern Washington State.
Nice.
I'm very open about it.
I'm super. Besides giving out my exact address, I'm super open about where I'm at, how the day's going, where my work is. Come shop if you're ever in the area. You can come that way.
I think that it would safe for me to say that you've helped me out with getting some pain relief stuff for me to try, and it's been great. You want to move to Washington? So do it. Cranston's gonna be here.
That's why he wants to move to Washington.
Yeah. Yeah. I will tell you, Cranston's going to be on the other side of Washington, the expensive side of Washington, but come live over here.
That's the east or west side of Washington?
The east side. The west side over by Seattle. That's where it's wet all the time. That's where it's expensive.
Really? So it's wet and expensive.
And lots of traffic.
Boo.
Yeah. Yeah. Over here, we don't get as much rain, and it can be really dry, but I'll tell you what, it's quiet.
Are you
it breaks my heart to, I talk about like feeling bad when I see myself having more successes than some other people. We can afford a 2-story, 4-bedroom house for less money than what some people are paying in rent for, I see you, Robert Highland.
Yeah, I know.
Some people are paying in rent for like a 2-bedroom apartment that they don't even get to own, and it's like, oh my God, will you please just move here, please? I have room. Just come stay here.
This has been the cheapest city I've ever lived in, which is literally the only reason I'm still here. Because I miss my mountains, I miss my greenery, and being able to just go to the mountains when I want, a lake, a river. Yeah. It's just not the same here in Oklahoma. But are you anywhere near Forks?
No, that's the other side of the state.
I thought so. I thought it was on the. Listen, I have never been, and I'm not saying I'm a Twilight fanboy, but I've read all the books and seen the movie, so I'd like to check it out.
I'd like to check it out too sometime when we're over there. I will admit that it is a guilty pleasure for me. Yeah. Like if he's out of town or something, and I just don't care about how my day's gonna go, I'll put on the marathon. But. To be fair, I started reading the books because they came out when I was a high school teacher, and it's what all the kids were talking about, and I wanted to know what they were talking about.
Sure. I was actually.
So they're terrible.
They are bad.
They're terrible, but
the movies
aren't they
are really
good,
bad. Though? Exactly. Yeah. I was living in Salt Lake City when they came out, so like, she was everywhere. I'm forgetting the author's name right now, but she's from Salt Lake City, I believe, or was living there at the time when she released it.
Stephanie Myers.
So like, she was literally everywhere, like every news, the books were everywhere. It was on, so it was like it became a thing. Not to get into Twilight, all of a sudden.
Twilight is for getting drunk and laughing at how bad all the gaslighting and stuff is. I mean, true.
The first movie is so bad. So bad. Anyways, so outside of the wonderful Robert Hyland and the Robos and the Echoes, what are some other people or other streamers that people should check out?
Okay, Michael Fossbeck, obviously. We've talked about Michael. Reaper's Past.
Echo, people need to check you out. Check out Echo.
Yeah, obviously check out Echo. Let me go through like my daytime routine. So Amber Ramey, because she just started streaming, and she'd like hit the ground running. Her first stream, you would never know that she'd never streamed before.
That's awesome.
She's very engaging, very conversational. F&H Paul, Kern's obviously. Zalenthor.
Yes.
You want high energy and loud and exciting.
I first saw him through Toasty Bear stream when they do their little...
Toasty Bear, yep. If you enjoy the cozy, chill streams where you just listen to someone who is very pleasant to listen to, Hekvetica, H-E-C-K, like Helvetica, the font, but Heck. We actually found him on a Robo raid after doing the game Omno, and he is just such a pleasant, amazing person. Love him to death. Twinkles, Gumdrops, and Athok, both good friends in the community. They're building their streams too. Dustin just did a baking stream with croissants.
I remember my baking stream went awful.
Huh?
I had a baking stream. It didn't turn out too well. The cake, I told everyone it was good.
Oh, you baked food. Okay.
I baked a cake and decorated it and everything on stream.
Not good.
No, never again. Talk about the failures.
Beard in the Hair is another one, obviously. And then Fee, Zeranix, who's part of Point in Progress as well. She and I both just pre-ordered the Final Fantasy 14 cookbook that comes out in November, and we're gonna do a co-baking cooking stream to try out some of the recipes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Godok. Check out Godok. He doesn't get nearly as much attention as he should. He does really good, like the kind of more of the old school, like there's some a lot of the 16-bit art type games, a lot of story games. He just did like Area of Spirits, and I think he did like Eichenfell and a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. Really send more people Godok's way, because he deserves more. I will support any traffic. Genuine person, anyone who's just genuine and nice and caring. They'll always have my support. So yes, everyone we've mentioned today, I feel like are genuine people, truly just nice. They would act this way for anybody that was, nice. So like, check out everybody. And then my final question. This isn't like the question I just asked, so you don't have to go through them. But obviously, when I do these podcasts, people get recommended, and that's usually who I go to next. Who is someone that hasn't been on the podcast that you would recommend, that you would like to see on an episode? I'm gonna give you two. Have you had Reaper on? He was the last one I had on. He was the last one. Okay, so Michael Fosbeck. Okay. I'm gonna great conversationalist. He's DMs. Yeah, he's a great interview. Ask him about DC Comics, and he'll talk to you all day. Okay, I'm a fan of DC. Yeah, and he's also another one that, he knows how to keep a conversation going. He won't leave you with the awkward moments, Okay. I know that's important for interviewers. I mean, I feel like I've learned to try and deal with everything. I've said it almost... You can navigate around it, yeah. I feel like with everybody, because everyone's unique, right? It's hard figuring out everyone's cadence. Figuring out their cadence and like what is the end of their sentence, or hey, I'm done talking. You know what I mean? Like that's for everyone's a little bit different. Especially when I haven't really been in their stream as much. Like me and you have talked. Like I can kind of I can tell people's vibe and stuff like that. But with someone who I haven't been in as much, it's a little bit more difficult. But other than that, I feel like I'm pretty good at the dead air stuff. Yeah. And that's something else when you're talking about, like, why you do what you do, and you talk about you wanting to be more of, like, the podcast-type streamer. I feel like you do that. Not only are you so good at it with running an interview and filling those gaps and moving the conversation forward, but I think that you also have that genuine desire to use it as a platform to elevate those around you, to elevate 100%. The other person. 100%. You're not doing it for your own benefit. You're doing it to help out the other person, and that's something that sets you apart. And I don't want to give this false pretense that that's all it's, because like, hey, if my best friend Brad became super famous, I'll ride those coattails. You know what I mean? Like that's not. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love for anyone that I'm doing to become famous and be able to get a little bit of the driplings from that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not I interviewed them like 4 years ago when they were just starting out. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But it's a two-way street. But yeah, you do have also that genuine, Like,
well,
you just want to see other people do well.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know. That's how I am in general. I love to support, especially through the whole COVID thing. I'm still like in Oklahoma. We're not on lockdown like that anymore, so I can go out, and I do go out, and I'm single now, so I try and live a single life and outside of streams, and I have fun. But I just honestly feel like I connect with people on Twitch a little bit more. I don't know what it is, but I go and talk to people in real life, and there's just not. It's not. I don't know.
It's scary out there. It's just I'm good here.
But yeah, I do feel like a community man.
Yeah.
So I always say this at the end of every episode. I would love to sit back down with you in 6 months or so, see how far you've grown, because I know everybody has been growing. Like, people think that they don't, but everybody's grown. So I would love to sit back down with you again and see where the streams have gone and see what's changed.
Anytime.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you for tuning in tonight. Tell everybody where they can find you one more time, and tell us if you have anything coming up, any streams, charity, anything like that.
Oh boy, again, how much time you got? Because I plan every day of October.
Get at it. You got it. Floor's yours.
I'm CraftyGamerLady everywhere, so Twitch, mostly Twitter, and then Instagram. I have a lot of stuff going on in October where people can do art projects with me. You guys can be in the chat and have a voice about how you want my emotes to look. That's tomorrow. And then other games that we'll be able to play together. Like, there's going to be some Fridays where we do Dead by Daylight, Phasmophobia. All of that's going on in October, and also different degrees of scary games, between like Goosebumps and Costume Quest down to Layers of Fear and Evil Within, which I'm not thrilled about.
I hate that game.
I found Halloween fortune cookies that are redeemable for channel points, and goofy headbands and stuff that you can mess with me. But in November, we're going to be doing another 12-hour run at Extra Life.
Nice.
And I'm going to be keeping that link open and keeping it on my site so that we can we just crossed $500 for the current run. If we hit 750, I'm going to add a speech jammer to my channel. If we hit 1,000, then the community gets to help me design the Cozy Crafter logo. So I'm going to leave those up. If anyone wants to donate to Extra Life, you can go into my chat, whether I'm online or not, and do !donate, and it will get you the link for Extra Life.
That's amazing. I'm going to have to get with you off stream sometime. I'm wanting to do in November, same month, but that is the Crohn's and colitis month. So I've told myself I'm going to be raising any money that's raised on the stream, any subs, gifts, bits, anything like that. If I can't get it to go towards them, I will not only give it to them, but also match whatever is donated that month and also donate. So I'm going to have to get with you and try and figure out how to do all that and set up stuff on stream.
I'm practically a fundraising streamer master by now. So bounce out any ideas you want off me. I'll help you in whatever way I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you for coming on tonight. I hope you have a great night. And to everyone still in chat, thank you for tuning in. And we'll be back next week with a new guest. I don't know who it'll be yet, but it will be an amazing person.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I love you all. And thank you, Salt. Been a great conversation.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a great night.